Oh guys, I got the reaction from my last video and I'm like, okay, let's do this, let's continue. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for coming here. And if this is your first time in this channel, thank you. Thank you for coming. Please do not forget to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and do not forget to put on the notification bell so that you can be the first to know when I drop all those good stuff for you. My name is Violu. You can call me the Lady Ife, filming from Ibadan, Nigeria. Oh guys, I got the reaction from my last video and I'm like, okay, let's do this, let's continue. Thank you so much for the encouragement. It was worth it. Thank you so much, and I'm glad to be doing this again. So my last video we talked about leaving your parents' house, why you should leave, why you should not leave, when, and everything that has to do with that. So today I'm talking about expectations, the positive things, negative things. Do I regret leaving them? Have I gotten better? A lot of gist for you here. Just stay here. Do not go anywhere. Okay, so what are the things to expect? Let's talk about the positive side first. Good news or bad news? We don't do like first. Let's talk about the good news first. The reason why you should not leave, I hope that you have digested that and you get it so well. Okay, so the positive things, our expectations, what do you expect, what happens after leaving home? The number one thing I need to tell you is responsibility. Oh my god, I cannot overemphasize that. Responsibility is real. Let me tell you this for free. The hallmark of adulthood is responsibility. And I'm sure a lot of times you hear, adulthood is calm. This billing is killing. These bills are killing. It is true. Adulthood is responsibilities. When you hear adulthood, think responsibility. When you're 18, think responsibility. In fact, before you even clock 18, when you're 12, when you're 14, is responsibility. Because the truth of the matter is, the higher you go, the more you have to be responsible. The world is expecting a lot from you. Even you are expecting a lot from yourself. So the number one thing to expect when you leave your house is responsibility, my dear. You have to be responsible. Responsibility comes in different shades. Comes in different shades, different from one way or the other. Financial responsibilities, emotional responsibility, spiritual responsibility. Because at times some people see you as, okay, once you leave your parents' house, that means that you are independent. And being independent at times comes with you having other people to depend on you. So for example, now let's talk about spiritual covering. I know and I am so sure that my parents are part of my spiritual covering. So living under their roof, does this stop them from covering me? No, absolutely not. They are still my spiritual covers. They pray for me. I feel it. I know it that they are praying for me. But at the same time, there's this sense of responsibility that just comes that I have to watch over my siblings in the place of prayer. I have to watch over my friends in the place of prayer. Of course, I've known that even before I left, but there's another dawning that just comes on you and you feel like, yes, you are responsible for a lot of things. So spiritual responsibility is a big deal. It's part of it. Financial responsibilities, oh my God, the moment people know that you are staying alone, they believe that, you are the surest, so mama or baba or any other thing that it is, and they feel like, okay, you can solve our problem, you can pay our bills, and the billings keep coming. Hello please, I need urgent 2K. Hello please, I need urgent 5K. Hello please, can you subscribe for me? Hello please, I need to buy this. Hello please, my birthday is tomorrow, are you not going to send me money? And all those stuff like that. Hey, responsibilities, financial responsibilities is a lot, and it is one of the things that make people feel like something is going on one way or the other. So responsibilities are real, financial, spiritual, emotional. At times you have to be there for people in their tough times, which you started doing before, but when you leave your parents' house, I feel this sense of independence. You just know that you have to be responsible for yourself first, then people that are close to you, maybe your siblings, your families, your friends, before you now start being responsible for other people that do not even really know you and they can just call you from the moon out of the blues rather, and feel like, okay, I can tell you this, I can tell you that, and you have to be responsible for me. So the number one thing to expect is that it's responsibility. I take it as a positive expectation because responsibility is a good thing. Yeah, it's good to be responsible. Or do you want to be tagged as irresponsible? No. Number two thing that I love about moving out of your parents' house, and I think you should look forward to, is self-awareness and personal development. There are times that your environment does not give room for personal development. Maybe you want to go out, you want to attend conferences, and that is when they know that they have some chance to give you, or they feel like I hold you for today, or your environment is not just encouraging, or maybe you're even somebody that does not like going out and your environment helps you to even stay inside. For me now, for example, when I was at my parents' place, naturally I don't like going out. And anything I want to make me to step out of my parents' house, I know that it's a long trip. Yes, I'm going to have a long trip. So most times, if there's an excuse for me not to go out, I will gladly sit in my father's house and not go anywhere. If I just keep staying in my comfort zone like that, I'm not going to develop myself in all the aspects that I'm supposed to develop myself, attend conferences, read books, rub minds with like-minded people and things like that. So it's one of the things that you should look forward to when you're living in your parents' house. If you left your parents' house and this is missing, I think you should begin to look for a way to do that. And also self-awareness. It helps you to know yourself when you're by yourself and you start learning new things. For example, you start learning how to create a budget, you start learning how to live within your budget, how to live within your means and stuff like that. I'm happy, it's exciting, but at the same time, it's not as exciting as it sounds, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Self-awareness helps to know yourself. This is the time I work best. This is the thing I love to do best. This is how this works. This is how that works, and every other thing that is. So self-development is something positive to expect while doing it. Okay, another thing you should look forward to, positive expectation thing, is self-esteem. Living a process kind of help you to improve your self-esteem, and you have this sense of independence. You know, I talked about having a false sense of independence in my first video, but no, this is not a false sense. It's you are really independent, and it gives you a healthy self-esteem. So you should consider living your parents' house if you know that you can do things that will help your self-esteem outside your parents' house that you cannot do within your parents' house. But make sure that reason is really reasonable and genuine, and not because you just want to move out. You know, I already talked about motives, so you don't want to miss that. You don't want to lose out on that. So self-esteem. If my parents' house has helped me to improve my self-esteem, I feel more confident about myself. I feel like, yes, I take responsibilities by myself. I am more in control of me, yes. Another reason is privacy. I know that privacy is a big deal for a lot of people. And at times they feel like their parents' house does not give them the access to the privacy that they really want. I understand you. So if you feel like you're not being private enough, and I hope your privacy is not for any other reason, it's for good reason, to help all of these things I've been saying, not to do anything bad. So privacy, you must leave your parents' house because of privacy, and it's a good thing to look forward to. When you leave your parents' house, you're looking forward to being private so that you can get better in all aspects of your life. And finally, the last thing I'd like to say in this aspect is access to connections and responsibilities outside your environmental comfort zone. Oh my God, leaving your parents' house gives you access. Yes, even when I was in my parents' house, I had access to some people, but it enables you to meet new like-minded people. For instance, my place, when I left my parents' house, in my immediate environment where I was living, nobody was a doctor, nobody was a lawyer, nobody was this, nobody was that, or maybe I didn't know them. Okay, actually they were, but I wasn't really in good sense. I do not really know them. But moving to my apartment, my next door neighbor was, is my next door neighbor? I have about, at least, I have a writer as a neighbor, I have a dentist as a neighbor, I have a doctor as a neighbor, I have different people as a neighbor, people that are reasonable, people that you can rub minds with, people that is what living your parents' house just gives you. It gives you access to connections and relationships, access to connect with people more, people that you have similar value. Of course, the truth of the matter is, for you to get people that you have the same value, it's not so, it doesn't come easy. Having someone with like values, it doesn't come very easy like that, but you intentionally have to search for it, and you do not compromise. The value system is not something you should really compromise for when you know that this is what will help your life, and going another way is going to ruin you. So you should not compromise on value. And I feel like living your parents' house also gives you access to relationship outside your comfort zone, which is an asset. You know the popular saying, your network is your network. When it comes to negative expectation of living your parents' house, I think I would just like to mention good things. two things basically, which is number one thing I would like to mention, which is a very common one, is financial implication. Living your parents' house is very expensive. It is not for the faint-hearted at all, because you have to first consider your house rent. After considering your house rent, you have to consider setting up. And setting up takes a lot of money. In fact, it takes more than your house rent most of the time. Imagine you just leave your parents' house because you don't want to be accountable and you don't even have the financial mind, yes, you don't have the financial stamina to live, and you just leave and you realize that you have a room. You just have a room, or you can't even afford a room, you can't even afford to share a room. You will still go back there, not to talk of feeding yourself. So the financial application is that you have to think of house rent, you have to think of paying bills, water bill, waste management bill, electricity bill, internet bill. If you had access to free internet from a parent's house, and now you don't have access to free internet again, you have to pay your bills yourself, and some people will be using that internet with you, and every other thing that has to do with financial responsibility. So it's one of the things that really holds people back whenever they want to step out of their father's house or their parents' apartment, and you should expect that it is financially expensive. The truth of the matter, in short, living your parents' house is financially demanding. So if you are not financially buoyant, do not bother to live. That is my advice for you. Do not bother to live if you are not financially buoyant. And the other thing I would like to tell you about the other negative expectation about living your parents' house is this. Should I call it emotional implication? Yes. At times, loneliness sets in. Especially if you are living far from families, you are living alone, and you are a family person, you so much enjoy the company of others, you begin to look for people you can mix with, you begin to miss your family. So at times it can be emotionally draining, because maybe at times you are not feeling so well, and you feel like, okay, maybe at this point I need someone to encourage me, maybe things are not going so well, and you feel like you need someone to motivate you, and you're not really getting it, or you feel like you need to mix with people, you need to have that family feeling again, and it's not there. So at times, a lot of people say that it's lonely, and most times people just have to bury themselves in work, especially for creatives. They just have to bury themselves in work and keep working and keep working until they can work no more and probably have emotional breakdown, and sometimes it can lead to depression. You are just moody, you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to mood swing here and there, and the reason what actually caused it before was because you're not mixing with people, you're not rubbing minds, and probably miss one or two people. So that is it. So loneliness can be real, and you're beginning to have emotional issues. That's why you have to be mature before leaving the parents' house. So you have to be mature enough to handle the emotional stress that comes with leaving your parents' house. If you have left your parents' house, please tell me in the comment section below if there's anything you regret or something that has really gotten better with you. For me, really, it's personal development and self-awareness. For me, it's personal development and self-awareness. So I want you to tell me what it is for you. And if it's the negative side, the financial application, the emotional situation is real, what else is it that make once in a while makes me like, this is the negative aspect of leaving your parents' house? So just let me know in the comment section below. Before I conclude, I'd just like to give you some tips while moving out. Number one, create a budget, please. Most times, when you create a budget for living house, a lot of people end up going beyond their budget because situations just arise, that things that you don't know they were going to come into, the situation just start coming up. So create a budget, and as much as you can, please stay strict with your budget. Stay strict with your budget. Get the things you need. Stay strict with your budget. Create a budget. Work with a budget. Number two thing when moving out, please do not despise help. Oh my God. If you have somebody that is willing to help you, okay, if anybody comes and say, okay, how can I help you? And you feel like, okay, this is coming from a good mind. Why not tell them to help you? Okay, this is what I want to do. Do you want to give me money? Give me money. Do you want to give me this? Do you have maybe some furniture you're not using and you want to give me? Take it with all joy. Follow this, as simple as kitchen utensils, as common as they look, they are not cheap, they are expensive. So if your mom is willing to give you one or two things, why not take it with your full chest, take it with all your heart. I remember that I spent a lot of my kitchen utensils when I was moving out alone was very expensive. It's not even it's in 6 digits. I don't want to mention in naira. I don't want to mention specific amount, but it's in zeros, 5 zeros. So it's not cheap. So get help as much as you can. As simple as a bucket looks like. As simple as a bucket looks like, just get it from mom if you can. Coolers, kitchen utensils, some furnitures, bedroom furniture, living room furnitures, and stuff like that. Do not despise yourself. Get everything as much as you can. If somebody is willing to give you something that they used before and you feel it's not bad, it's still fine. At least for a start, even if it's not your taste, you can still start with something, manage it before you now get to buy what is yours. And most times it doesn't really come easy like that. Most times people just have to be buying things. Maybe, okay, when I get my salary for this month, or with my budget for this month, I'll buy a chair. With my budget for next month, I'll buy a table. Then for another month, I'll get this set of furniture, blah blah blah. That's how it is most times. You don't have to buy everything at once. Work with a budget and do not despise yourself. And like I like to say when we visit your parents' houses, please, after moving out of your parents' house, stay in touch with your family. For me, I'm a family person. I love my family, my siblings, my parents, my dad, my mom. Stay in touch with them. It helps to build bond. If you leave your parents' house and you just leave them like that, you're not staying in touch with them, you're not doing anything that makes them feel like you still have them at heart, it can be tiring, and it's one of the things that actually makes you feel lonely. And I know that you don't want to feel lonely every time, to the extent that that begins to affect your work. So please do not forget to stay in touch with your family. So before I tell you what my conclusion is, I want to hear you in the comment section. Please like this video, share it with your friends and family, drop a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Okay, conclusively, I would like to tell you that once you leave your parents' house, there is no going back. Well, that's what I think, in my opinion. There is no going back. You don't want to go back there. If you go back home, you will feel like, they will feel like probably you are irresponsible, or you are not serious with your life, and trust me, they will lord it over you. So when you are leaving your parents' house, there is no going back. Just count your cost before leaving. Once you leave, you cannot go back. I also want you to know that it's not everybody that can go back home like the prodigal son did. No. The prodigal son had a good father that was willing to accommodate him. Yes, maybe some people still have good fathers that were accommodated even after leaving home, and maybe even messed up the relationship. So if you leave home and you know that there is no going back home for you, just count your costs before leaving. So conclusively, I'd like to tell you that some people, they've left home and they have strayed off. Count your costs, check your motive, be sure you are right, and please do not be afraid to take the bold step. And this is where I am going to put a pause to this video. If you want me to continue this series, if you want to hear my full story personally, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you with all my heart, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Self-development, I said something, is what is. I think leaving your parents' house sort of help you to getting another value. Ẹ wá pa nǹkan yìí o.